is at the end of the road for the alternative beauty pageant Queen of the Whole Universe. Its creator answers the question. Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm Andrew Whiteside. This is GayTalk tonight, and a big thank you to everybody for all your wonderful feedback on last week's show. Now this week, my special guest is Jonathan Smith, the creative force behind the theatrical spectacular Queen of the Whole Universe. Queen of the Whole Universe is what you might call an alternative beauty pageant. The annual show has been wowing audiences in New Zealand for 9 years, and this year marks the 10th and final show. Over its run, the show has raised $200,000 for HIV and AIDS related charities, but now it's coming to an end. Its creator and host explains why it's ending and what's next. Jonathan, welcome to the program. Really wonderful to have you here. Now, the Queen of the Whole Universe has been going on for almost a decade. What does it feel like for you now, looking back at those 10 years?
Oh, looking back over 10 years, you know, what a journey. To think that we started in 2004 at Sky City with Queen of the Whole Pacific, and it was a cast of about 25. We had a full house. There was only 800 people in that theatre. And to look at where we are now at the ASB Theatre, we're definitely going to have a full house on the night of the show. So we've gone from 800 to 2,500 people. We're in a huge theatre, and we've now got a cast and crew of over 100 people. So the show's growing, and you know, we have to acknowledge a lot of people because of that. It's
always amazed me the fact that you coordinate everything, and I know you. I've known you for many years, and you're actually a very dear friend of mine. But I know how you like to control things. You do.
I don't use the word control, Andrew.
But
engaging.
Engaging. But it is a mammoth task, and I've always really admired it, because not only are you producing it and directing it, choosing all the music, coordinating everything, although, I mean, you do have a lot of volunteers, but nonetheless, you are managing the whole process, but you're also starring in it. So you're actually performing as well as doing all of these things. And I'm wondering, how do you actually get the energy, the time? How do you really create that?
Maybe I could break that down into two answers. Let's go back about the comment about being controlling, etc. Because
I knew you'd pick that up.
No, but I think it's actually really important to actually explain that if I hadn't been like that, that show would not have lasted. It wouldn't have been the longest running LGBT theatrical event in New Zealand ever. If it hadn't been for me keeping control of it and watching every single thing, that show wouldn't have lasted 10 years. You know, we would have probably closed after about 3 or 4 years, because, you know, everybody wants their say, whereas I've always been quite clear. I direct this, I'm the creative director, I know what I want, and this is how we're going to deliver it. If you want to come on board, and boy, you're going to have a good ride.
Do you find that rubs people up the wrong way occasionally? Do you find that some people really bristle about that?
Absolutely, and I can see that. I don't have to deal with it, I ignore it. But there's some people there that have been with me every year. There's some people that might only last 1 or 2 shows because they don't like being directed. And they don't like the fact that I don't always listen to what their views and what their suggestions are. I actually do. It goes in, it does stay in, and I think, okay, that's a valid point. But I never put it out there. I never say to people, what do you think? In fact, I did it once. Huge mistake, huge mistake. Now, with regards to me emceeing with Kevin, with Buffy, we had an amazing MC, Helen Medlin, in 2004. She did a great job. We then realised that it actually needed a slightly different type of MC. It needed somebody who could play with the audience, could ad-lib, but also they needed to know the show inside out. And that was a key for me. And I remember saying to Kevin one day, early 2004, I actually think we need to MC this. And that was a wise decision. I've never regretted that, and we will carry that right through to 21 July as well.
This upcoming show is the 10th show that you've created, and my understanding is it's the last one. But what comes next?
It's time to rewrite it as a musical. I've got so much footage, so much history, so many amazing characters, that we could put the most incredible music all together. And the best way to try and explain it, if you take something like a chorus line, combine it with Priscilla, you've almost got what I'm trying to create. And if you think about what Queen of the Whole Universe is about, it's about those finalists. It's about everybody getting through the show. They know they're all going to get kicked off at the end of Act 1. We act it out. We also know who continues to Act 2. I want to concentrate on some of those characters. I want to concentrate on how I created the show. We've had some amazing highs and we've had some incredible lows. You know, we've lost 4 cast members who have passed away. All of that would build the most incredible story. I would use professional singers who have to sing live. I would still use a lot of the volunteer cast in Act 1. And I would craft it in such a way that we could put it into a smaller theatre and we could run it over 5 or 6 nights, and every night there could be a different winner. So you might come to the show on Monday night and say, oh, that was amazing, Miss Australia won. And then somebody might go on Tuesday night and go, no, I thought Miss Australia was going to win. No, Miss England won. So I could also play it out like the mousetrap in England that's been running for 50 odd years.
That's pretty incredible though, and exciting, but I guess also quite daunting.
It is daunting. There's a lot of work, and it's a different type of work. It's a different type of scripting. But I've got the support. I've got the support from some international singers who have said that we can use some of their music and rewrite it in such a way that fits with the concept. And I think a good example of that is something like Mamma Mia, where they picked up the music of ABBA and rewrote it to fit in with Mamma Mia.
So at this stage, are you able to tell me who those international stars are?
Well, I think if we have a look at what's happened with this year's show, the 2012 show, we see a lot of Lady Gaga and we see a lot of Adele. Yeah. And I think that's probably the easiest way for me to leave it.
Well, that's very exciting. I wanted to move on. Obviously, the money that you've raised has gone a lot towards people living with HIV, and that's something that you've been living with now for over 20 years. So I'm interested to know your journey. Where are you at in terms of living with the virus, living with treatments and so on?
Interesting question. Very pertinent question for me. For the last 3 or 4 years, I've gone through a major transition. Up until that time, I dealt very much with mortality. I had a lot of counselling, and you know, 19 years ago, I didn't think I was going to be alive any longer. So I've really dealt with the whole understanding of death could be imminent. However, because of all the new treatments and because of the way I've framed my life, I've had to do this major paradigm shift from mortality to longevity, and it's been really, really hard. I've actually needed more psychotherapy to do that shift to knowing that I'm around and I'm still going to be around for a few more years. In some ways, it's actually slowed me down because now I know that I've possibly got more time and I don't have to do all these things as quick as I used to. I think it's also made my relationship with Kevin even stronger because I know I'm going to be with him much, much longer. So I've actually changed. I've actually become, you probably won't believe this, Andrew, I think I've become a little bit more mellow.
Wow. I'm interested, and I'm trying to ask all my guests this. What's your general philosophy about life, or what do you think constitutes a happy life, a fulfilling life? What do you think the secret is? Even if you haven't quite got there yourself, what do you think the process is, and what does it involve?
Oh, let me think about it. Have I got there? I actually think I have got there. I think I got there. I got there soon after diagnosis. I think if I look back, that was a major wake-up call, and that was about sorting out who you are, where you want to be, and where you want to go. And I did that many, many years ago, and I've gone through that. So for me, a happy life is being with the right person and also being completely and totally settled within yourself and grounded within yourself and knowing who you are. HIV made me deal with all of that, there's no doubt about it. If I hadn't got infected, I don't know if I'd be sitting here today thinking, do I know who I am? I don't know. I don't think I would be. But I'm probably more settled and more grounded as a person now than I have ever been.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you for your time and good luck, Andrew. Good luck.
Thanks again for watching. I'll see you soon.